Well, right now, getting help for our veterans returning from the battlefield is a priority of Senator David Knezek from Dearborn Heights. And that help comes in the form of service dogs, but the dogs would be helping those veterans with disabilities we can't see. Post-traumatic stress disorder and brain injuries we're talking about. And joining us now from Lansing via Skype, Senator Knezek. Hello, Senator.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you, and thank you for joining us on the Now Detroit. You too are a veteran of war. We want to thank you first and foremost for your service.
Thank you.
Tell us why it's important to have this bill, to have these dogs for our veterans.
Well, I think you already hit the nail on the head, Glenda, in the beginning, and that's calling attention to the fact that all of the wounds that our veterans are sustaining right now in Iraq and Afghanistan, they're not visible. We have a large number of veterans coming home suffering from post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, and we already have the structures in place right now where these veterans are able to get tied into these service animals. What we don't have are protections on the books here in Michigan to make sure that they get fair treatment in our different businesses and restaurants across the state.
Yes, if they do walk in with an animal that they need, you're talking about that kind of fair treatment. Absolutely. How do they actually help assist PTSD vets?
Well, first and foremost, it gives these veterans a sense of responsibility again. They have something that they can love and care for. The dogs themselves have a tremendous amount of training as it relates to detecting spikes or dips in that veteran's mood, the different chemical compositions that are in their bodies at any given time. And so when that veteran is getting stressed, when they're feeling overwhelmed, perhaps they're not comfortable in a certain situation, that dog is there to make sure that they are calmed down and brought back down here to earth as it relates to sort of their mental stability. And again, that's so important when we have so many veterans right now coming home without those visible wounds that we talked about earlier.
And it is amazing how a dog can enhance your life. They really can be your best friend. You're talking about changing Michigan law to accommodate this. Service dogs, college campuses, restaurants, businesses, as we talked about. How do you plan on redefining this law in the books?
Well, again, I think the first thing is that we need to make sure that we're having an actual productive dialogue and to stop the finger pointing. When we hear stories about veterans who are getting mistreated, whether it's on an airline or in a business, I think our gut reaction is to lash out and to ask these businesses, why would you treat a veteran that way? The reality is, again, a lot of people don't know that these service dogs are out there and the service that they're providing our veterans. So we need to make sure that we standardize the training on the books that we have here in Michigan. We need to standardize the licensure, and we need to standardize how those veterans present through identification the fact that they are a legitimate possessor of a service dog. And so again, we just want to make sure that we're leveling the playing field and helping these guys make a smooth transition home.
Yes, there's an education barrier that needs to happen too. Senator, thank you so much for joining us, and again, thank you for your service.
Thank you so much, Glenda.